Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you were everything a man said he wanted, and yet he still didn't choose you? You were loyal, you were supportive, you held him down, and still he ghosted, lost interest, or said, "I'm just not ready." Here's the truth. No one tells you. Men don't commit based on how much you give. They commit based on how they feel about who they become around you. That's the shift most women never hear about. In this video, I'm going to show you the one powerful thing you can do, starting today, that activates a man's primal instinct to claim, protect, and commit. No manipulation, no pretending, just a deeper understanding of how to naturally show up in your feminine power in a way that flips a switch in his mind. This isn't about chasing him. It's about becoming the kind of woman a man doesn't want to imagine his life without. And once you learn this, you'll stop asking, "Why didn't he choose me?" and start hearing, "I've never met anyone like you. I can't let you go." This works, not because it's a trick, but because it aligns with who you truly are, underneath all the noise and outdated dating advice. Ready to change the game? Let's get into it. Most women are told that if they love hard, stay loyal, and support a man through everything, eventually he'll commit. But here's the truth that no one's willing to say out loud. Men don't commit out of comfort. They commit out of clarity. Comfort is easy. You can be the sweetest, most supportive woman in the world, and he can still leave you for someone who makes him feel something deeper, something decisive. Men commit when they feel like they've found a woman who makes them see the future more clearly. And that clarity isn't about how beautiful you are or how well you check the boxes. It's about how he experiences himself when he's around you. Is he becoming the man he wants to be when he's with you? Does he feel emotionally safe, but also challenged to rise? Does he feel like claiming you makes him stronger, not smaller? If the answer is yes, he'll move mountains to make you his. But if he feels like he's just floating in the comfort of your love without becoming anything greater, the relationship stalls. Not because he doesn't care, but because his masculine wiring is always scanning for meaning and mission. A man doesn't just choose a woman, he chooses the life he believes he can build with her. That's why some women get the ring after just a few months, and others wait years without ever being chosen. It's not about time, it's about emotional impact. And here's the kicker. The women who inspire commitment aren't doing more, they're doing different. They know how to create emotional space that allows a man to lead, to invest, to pursue. They don't over-explain, over-give, or try to prove their worth. They embody it. That's what shifts the dynamic from casual to serious, from "we'll see" to "when can I make this official?" Most women are chasing commitment by giving more. But the truth, real commitment starts when you stop trying to earn it and start embodying who you truly are. In the next section, we're going to break down exactly what makes a woman irresistible in a way that makes him want to commit. Not because he has to, but because he's afraid to lose you if he doesn't. Being irresistible isn't about being perfect. It's not about having flawless skin, the best body, or saying all the right things. Truly irresistible women aren't always the loudest in the room or the most obvious choice. In fact, they're often underestimated until the moment a man realizes he can't stop thinking about her. So what's the difference? It's presence, it's energy, it's the way she carries herself, not to be chosen, but because she already knows who she is. Irresistible women don't perform for validation. They express. They don't chase love, they invite it. When she walks into a room, she's not looking around to be seen. She simply exists in a way that draws attention. Why? Because she's connected to herself. Her worth isn't up for debate. And men feel that instantly. There's something magnetic about a woman who doesn't need anyone to make her feel valuable. She's not cold or guarded. She's warm, open, and completely rooted in herself. And that kind of energy pulls men in. Not because she's trying, but because she's embodying something rare. Confidence without arrogance. Softness without desperation. Standards without rigidity. A woman like that doesn't ask for a man's attention. She naturally receives it. She listens more than she explains. She observes before she reacts. She doesn't feel the need to prove she's different, because her energy already communicates it. And that's what men crave more than anything. A woman who knows her value without announcing it. Because here's what most women don't realize. Men aren't just attracted to how you look. They're drawn to how they feel around you. If a man feels safe, seen, and challenged in all the right ways, he will pursue, he will invest, he will prioritize. And the irresistible woman understands how to create that space. She doesn't try to impress. She invites connection. She doesn't rush intimacy. She allows curiosity to build. She doesn't abandon herself to keep someone. She stands firm in her standards and lets alignment do the work. When she speaks, there's depth behind her words. When she smiles, it's not for approval. It's because she genuinely feels joy. That's what makes her unforgettable. The truth is, any woman can become this version of herself, but it requires letting go of the idea that you have to earn love by being more. Irresistibility comes when you stop auditioning and start embodying your worth. In the next part of this video, we're going to look at the specific mistakes that sabotage this energy, and why even the most beautiful, intelligent women lose men without realizing why. Most women don't lose the man they want because they're not enough. They lose him because of subtle mistakes that shift his perception from, I could build a future with her, to she's not the one. And the most dangerous part, these mistakes often come from good intentions, from a place of love, of wanting closeness, of trying to make things work. But men don't respond to effort alone. They respond to energy. So let's talk about the behaviors that silently sabotage your chances of long-term commitment. One of the biggest, over-availability. When a man feels like you're always emotionally and even physically available no matter how he shows up, he stops valuing your presence. It's not because he's cruel. It's because the human brain is wired to assign more value to what feels earned. If he knows that no matter what he does, you'll still be there, answering his texts instantly, rearranging your schedule, being understanding when he's inconsistent, he subconsciously places you in a category that feels convenient, not essential. Another mistake, trying to prove you're different. Whether it's listing all the reasons you're not like other women, or subtly competing with his exes, this energy tells him you're still performing, still seeking validation. And men can feel when your confidence is performative. The women who truly stand out don't say they're different. They live it, quietly, consistently. There's also the trap of emotionally over-investing too early, sharing your dreams, traumas, your full life story within the first few dates may feel like connection, but often it overwhelms him. Emotional intimacy needs to build slowly, through trust and presence. Rushing it can feel like pressure, even if your intentions are pure. And finally, self-abandonment. This is the mistake that breaks trust, not with him, but with yourself. Saying yes when you mean no. Letting things slide that go against your standards. Holding back your truth out of fear. He'll pull away. Every time you do that, you send a signal to both of you. My needs don't matter as much. But here's the thing. High-quality men want a woman who knows her standards and lives by them, even if it makes him uncomfortable sometimes. That discomfort builds respect. When a man respects you, he listens differently. He shows up differently. He doesn't just enjoy you, he starts to value you. So if you've ever felt like men lose interest out of nowhere, chances are, one or more of these mistakes quietly shifted the dynamic. But now you see it. And when you can see it, you can change it. In the next part, I'll show you the exact shift that turns everything around, and how one change in your presence can completely rewire how a man sees you. Here's the truth that changes everything. The woman who men beg to commit to doesn't chase love. She chooses alignment. That's the one shift that flips the entire dynamic. And once you understand it, everything changes. Because alignment isn't about forcing outcomes. It's not about trying to win someone over or prove you're worthy of being chosen. It's about showing up in your full self-worth and allowing what's right to meet you, while releasing what isn't with grace. When a woman operates from this energy, she becomes magnetic. Why? Because she's no longer trying to control timing, or prove her value, or fix a man into loving her the way she deserves. She knows her value. She doesn't question it. And that energy, calm, grounded, self-trusting, is what makes a man stop and think, I can't play with this. I either rise or I lose her. That's the internal switch. When a man senses that you are emotionally available but not emotionally desperate. When he sees that you are warm but not waiting, soft but not sacrificing your boundaries, it triggers something deeper than attraction. It activates respect. And once a man respects you, that's when love deepens. That's when commitment becomes natural. Because now you're not just a woman he enjoys. You're a woman he's afraid to lose. And here's the thing. Most women don't realize that their energy is saying, please choose me. Even when their words sound confident, their actions say, I'll earn your love if I have to. But the woman who has men committing, proposing, planning futures, she's not chasing love. She's not waiting around for someone to realize her worth. She's aligned. She knows that love is something she attracts by being who she really is, not who she thinks he wants. And in that alignment, she moves differently. She doesn't panic when things take time. She doesn't abandon herself to maintain peace. She doesn't question whether she's good enough. She knows the right man won't need convincing, because he'll feel the difference the moment he meets her. This is the shift, not a game, not a tactic, but a new way of being. And once you step into that, you'll stop attracting men who need to be convinced, and start attracting men who are ready. In the next part of this video, we're going to go deeper, because knowing this is one thing, but embodying it is how you truly become the woman who inspires devotion. If you want a man to stay, choose you, and see you as the one, you need to understand something most women don't. Men are emotionally triggered by very different things than women are. What pulls you closer might actually push him away. And it's not because he's cold, immature, or afraid of love. It's because his emotional operating system is different. A man's deepest emotional drivers aren't activated by need. They're activated by meaning. Meaning in how he's received. Meaning in who he becomes around you. Meaning in whether he feels like he's winning in love, not just being tolerated or needed. You see, one of the most powerful emotional triggers for a man is feeling like he's emotionally successful with you, that he's winning your trust, that his presence makes you happier, that he's not being controlled or managed, but that he's leading something valuable. When he feels emotionally competent around you, he becomes more invested. He wants to step up. He wants to be more consistent, more available, more intentional. But when a man feels like he's being micromanaged, corrected, or told how to feel or behave, even if it comes from a loving place, he emotionally shuts down, not because you're wrong, but because he feels like he's not safe to lead. And men who don't feel like leaders in a relationship, they disengage. They may still like you, even love you, but they won't feel called to commit. Another key emotional trigger is admiration, not fake praise or stroking his ego, but genuine admiration for who he is at his core. A man will run toward the woman who sees greatness in him, even when he doubts himself, not because she fixes him, but because her presence reminds him of what he could be. And finally, emotional freedom is everything. Men fall in love when they feel emotionally free with you, when they can express, be vulnerable, and not feel judged, pitied, or analyzed. This doesn't mean letting go of your standards. It means creating a space where he feels invited to open up, not pressured. When you allow room for silence, for growth, for him to process things in his own way, that's when he starts to feel safe. And safety is what turns chemistry into devotion. The bottom line, if you want to emotionally trigger a man into commitment, don't try to convince him with love. Instead, be the woman who reflects his highest self back to him. In the next part of this video, I'll show you exactly how to communicate in a way that brings that out, so you're not chasing emotional connection. You're becoming the space where it naturally happens. The way you communicate tells a man everything he needs to know, not just about how you feel, but about how you see yourself. And high-value women communicate very differently from women who are afraid to lose someone. Most people think good communication is about saying more. But in truth, high-value communication is about saying less and meaning more. It's in your tone, your timing, your ability to speak your truth without emotional reactivity, without over-explaining, without trying to force a certain outcome. A high-value woman doesn't beg for clarity. She creates it with her presence. She doesn't send 10 paragraphs trying to convince someone to value her. She makes her intentions known once, clearly, calmly, and confidently, and then she allows their behavior to reveal the truth. That's what makes her powerful. Not her words, but the weight her words carry. She doesn't rush into hard conversations out of fear. She waits until she's centered, because she knows that the moment she sacrifices her emotional regulation, she gives away her influence. And when she sets boundaries, she doesn't do it with anger or ultimatums. She does it with certainty. She's not asking someone to respect her, she's showing them how she respects herself. And the people who are aligned will rise to meet that energy. High-value communication also means knowing when not to speak. Sometimes silence is louder than any argument. When a man pulls back, she doesn't panic text or try to fix it. She observes, she watches, she lets him show her his level of investment without trying to control it. And when she does speak, it's powerful. She uses I language instead of blame. She says things like, I don't feel emotionally safe when communication is inconsistent. Or I value honesty and clarity. That's what helps me stay open. Notice that she's not attacking. She's not shaming. She's stating truth and allowing the right man to lean in. That kind of communication activates emotional maturity. It signals that you're not here to be picked. You're here to co-create a relationship based on mutual value. And it inspires the masculine to lead, because now he sees you as someone who communicates with both strength and softness. A rare balance that commands both respect and desire. So if you've ever felt like you're saying all the right things and still not getting the connection you want, maybe it's not what you're saying. It's how you're saying it, and who you're being when you say it. Coming up, we're going to talk about how to fully embody that energy, how to radiate wife energy without saying a word, because that's what truly draws lasting commitment. Wife energy has nothing to do with how long you've been dating someone, how well you cook, or whether you fit someone else's checklist. It's an energy, not a title, and men can feel it almost immediately. But here's the part most women miss. You don't wait to be chosen and then step into wife energy. You embody it first, and that's what makes you the woman he wants to choose. So, what is wife energy really? It's grounded self-worth. It's the quiet confidence of a woman who knows who she is, what she offers, and what she will and won't accept. She doesn't need a relationship to complete her. She desires partnership from a place of fullness. And when you show up in that energy, you don't chase, force, or over-explain. You attract, you align, you allow. Wife energy is expressed in the way you handle conflict, not with emotional chaos, but with emotional intelligence. It's in how you carry yourself when a man pulls back. You don't beg or cling. You observe, you stay rooted, you respond, not react. And most of all, it's in how you protect your peace. You're not available for emotional gains, half investment, or breadcrumb attention. Not because you're bitter, but because you know love isn't supposed to be confusing. Wife energy also radiates through your joy. Men are deeply drawn to a woman who knows how to enjoy her own life, her hobbies, her friendships, her alone time. She's not waiting for a relationship to give her purpose. She's already living in purpose. That kind of energy is rare and irresistible, because it tells a man, I don't need you, I choose you, but only if you can meet me where I am. And here's the beautiful part, you don't have to try harder to step into this. You just have to let go of the parts of you that think you're not enough without someone else's validation. Wife energy says, I trust myself, I trust my standards, and I trust the timing of my life. From that place, your vibe shifts. The wrong men start falling away naturally. The right ones start showing up differently. Not because they've changed, but because you have. You've stopped proving and started becoming. And that's what inspires long-term commitment. Not a checklist, not a strategy, but the frequency of a woman who is already whole. Coming up next, I'll share one final reminder that ties this all together, and one bonus shift that can instantly elevate your attraction energy from day one. If you've made it to this point in the video, let me tell you something. You're not here by accident. Something in you knows you're meant for more. Not just more love, but more peace, more clarity, more alignment in your relationships. And the truth is, you don't need to become someone else to be chosen. You just need to return to who you really are. Before you were told to settle, perform, or play small in love. Everything we talked about today, the emotional triggers, the shift in energy, the way you communicate and carry yourself, it all comes down to one simple truth. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are in the moment. So if you want to attract commitment, respect, love that's consistent and real, start being the woman who already believes she deserves it. Not someday, not when he shows up. Now, that means practicing emotional boundaries. Saying no when something doesn't feel right. Speaking with confidence, even if your voice shakes. It means protecting your heart without hardening it. Staying soft, open, and loving, but no longer available for confusion, mixed signals, or emotional crumbs. You don't need to chase, prove, or convince anyone. The right man won't need to be reminded of your worth. He'll feel it. And here's what to do next. Start by checking in with your own energy. Ask yourself, am I showing up as the version of me who believes I'm a gift to the right man? If the answer is no, that's your starting point. Not more dating apps, not more overthinking, just a return to alignment. Because once you're there, your standards will protect you. Your energy will attract better, and your words will carry more weight than any game or tactic ever could. You already have what it takes. This video didn't give you value. It simply reminded you of the power you've always had. So here's your invitation. Watch this again whenever you forget who you are. Share it with a woman you love who needs this reminder too. And most importantly, start living from the belief that your love is not only worthy, it's sacred. And the man who gets to experience it, he won't hesitate. He'll know, and he'll thank you. Not just for loving him, but for never lowering your standard just to keep him. You are the prize, the piece, the partner. Thank you for watching. If this message spoke to you, like, subscribe, and drop a comment below with "I choose me" first, because that's the energy that changes everything. Before we wrap up, I want to share a bonus tip. Something simple but incredibly effective that can immediately elevate your attraction energy and make men notice you in a whole new way. It's all about presence. Presence isn't about being flashy or loud. It's not about having a perfect look or rehearsed lines. It's about how fully you show up in each moment, with confidence, calm, and genuine interest. When you master presence, you send a powerful signal that says, I'm here, I'm engaged, and I'm worth your attention. Here's how to do it. Start by slowing down. Most people rush through interactions, distracted by their phones, their thoughts, or what they're going to say next. But when you slow down your pace, your speech, your movements, your breathing, you immediately become more noticeable. Next, use your eyes. Eye contact is magnetic when it feels natural and warm. It creates a silent connection that pulls someone in. But be careful. Too much intensity can feel intimidating, and too little makes you seem disinterested. Aim for steady, relaxed eye contact that shows you're fully present. Another key part of presence is your energy. Think of your energy as the atmosphere you create around you. Is it tense or relaxed? Open or closed? Curious or distracted? When you radiate calm confidence, men feel invited into your space. They want to be near that energy. Lastly, listen. Really listen. When a man talks, don't just wait for your turn to speak. Instead, tune in to what he's saying. Nod, smile, and respond with curiosity. This level of genuine engagement makes him feel valued, which deepens attraction instantly. This bonus tip isn't about changing who you are. It's about becoming more you, more centered, more present, more alive in the moment. And the magic. When you do that, you don't have to chase. You don't have to convince. Men naturally want to come closer, because you've become a rare kind of woman, fully there, fully confident, and fully magnetic. So start practicing presence today. Slow down, look up, breathe, listen, and watch how the men around you begin to take notice, in ways that feel effortless and real.